Hello everyone, and welcome to Forms Part 2. In this video, you will learn how to design a more complex form. Some of the design features I'll show you in this video include labels, radio buttons, checkboxes, combo boxes, and inserting a link. Now let's talk about our practical example, Joe. The form Joe created and designed last time is functional, but it isn't very attractive, and it's missing sections of the session. Remember that these record items are the measured items the pilots were graded on, like before takeoff and takeoff. In this video, Joe is going to include all 4 measured items and design a clean, organized form that his instructors can sign off on. Here we are in the Mint Web Assistant. We're going to head over to Forms and open our form from last time. So here's our form. We have a label for our pilot. We have a label for our instructor. We have one of our measured items, and then we have the radio buttons that are linked to that measured item. They use the AQP grade scale of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the first thing we're going to do is add some more measured items. So just copy and paste. There we go. And then we're going to edit the text for these. So this is before takeoff, takeoff, and climb. Now you can drag these around to align them, or we can highlight them, right-click, align them horizontally to the center, and that aligns all these boxes together. All right, the next thing we're going to look at are our radio buttons. So last time we put the text off to the right, which is fine, but we're going to have some more rows of radio buttons, and that's going to be a lot of text, and it might be confusing to look at. So what we're going to do instead is delete the text from the radio buttons. And instead we're going to put it above the radio buttons. So I'll drag over a label, make it smaller. This will be our 1. And then we can just copy and paste. Now we go through and change the text. This is a 5, 4, 3, 2. Now once again, like we did with our measured items, we're going to highlight it so we can align them. Right-click, align them vertically to the center. There we go. Next, we're going to need to make some more rows of radio buttons to match up with our measured items. So each measured item needs its own row of radio buttons that are linked to the grade scale that is specific to that measured item. So the AQP grade scale for pushback or for before takeoff and so on. But for each row, the items are going to stay the same because it's still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in that order. So what we can do is highlight all of these and then copy and paste and just drag them down here. There we go. And then we just go through and highlight each row again. Go to the data source. And then this is going to be before takeoff. This will be takeoff. And then this one will be climb. All right, just like with our other elements, we're going to highlight these columns, right-click, align them horizontally, and I want to align them to the right side because I want it under this first button, which is the farthest right. So I'll just go through and do that for all of these radio buttons. Now this form is starting to look a little nicer. The next thing we're going to do is add a title so that whenever an instructor comes in to sign off on this form, they can easily see what form it is. A320 LOE grading sheet. There we go. And then we're going to come down here and center it and then make the text a little bigger. There we go, looking nicer all the time. Next, we're going to come over here to the elements, and I'll show you some different ways that you can customize your form to make it more personal and useful to you. So one way is with a checkbox. Now, a checkbox differs from a radio button in how you use it. So I'm going to show you guys. So we're going to have 3 checkboxes down here, and then we'll go into Create Preview. So with a radio button, you can only select one in the grade scale. So you can have 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, but you can't have 1 and 2 or 1 and 5, for example. A checkbox, however, you can check as many as you want. So a checkbox would be used when you want to select multiple elements. Or, conversely, a checkbox can be used and you want to check yes or no. So it could be blank could be no, or check can be yes. Another element is a combo box, which works differently from a radio button as well. So we'll just give this a grade scale, and then we'll go over here to preview and see we have our buttons, or you could have this drop-down menu for the combo box and just select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this means that instead of having 5 radio buttons, you just have 1 combo box. You can also add an image. You could add more labels, a link to a URL, a frame, a table. There's really no end to the amount of customization you can use for your form. So since we're happy with this form, we're going to press OK to save it in the Mint system. This has been Forms Part 2. Thanks for watching.